blah, 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 something, something, blah, blah, blah. Hey, folks, I'm MysteriousJG, and I don't know that I've ever done this on any LP. It's probably not true. I probably did it at some point, but I just woke up. I stayed up really late, Let's playing Tales of Vesperia, and now I've just woken up, and we're gonna Let's play Tales of Vesperia, like, immediately. Like, I've just been up long enough to hit the head, and I'm going right back into LPing. You might ask why. I probably seemed a little frustrated the last time I was playing this, and I think that's the answer. Well, part of it is the timing works out so that, hey, I can get in probably one video of roughly the length of the video I did last night before bed. And then that'll be perfect, because after that I can go take my walk, and it'll be right around lunchtime because I slept in, blah, 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 blah. But no, blah, blah, blah. Tidal wave. No, but mostly it's just like, I think I'm really fucking anxious to be done with this now. I was so frustrated last night. Because last night, we went into the damn Labyrinth of Memories and only got one piece of gold drop, fake gold drop, the entire time. I did, right after recording that video, Googled fake gold drop rate, pulled up some GameFAQs threads, and people were complaining about, oh, it took me this many trips, and I had a trip through where I only got, like, 4. And I was reading it, and people were complaining about trips where they got way more gold than I got. Seriously. Anyway. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take, I think I said we will probably end up missing like 4 screens tops, maybe a little bit more than that, but potentially there might be about 4 screens worth of and it'll be the same thing. Some screen we saw earlier in the game with a weird sepia tone filter, but there's a couple of screens worth of stuff where I probably will never see them because I will always diverge to a screen that has a boss, since there's a chance for a fake ball to drop there. But in order for us to see every single room with a boss in it, it would take me 4 trips through this place. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take 4 trips. And this is going to be the 3rd trip. And then I'm going to record this video, then I'm going to do some other stuff, and probably sometime later today I'll record another video of this place. And then I'll be free to off-screen until I've got approximately 15 fake gold. I don't even have the option, I realized, of taking a break and doing the 200-man melee in the middle, because while checking for information on how much fake gold I need, I was reminded, oh yeah, you actually need to finish this side dungeon to get the 200-man melee. So this side dungeon, which they make really easy to miss, there's nothing in-game to tell you how to go about getting it. Also has the fun bonus of being required for you to get other post-game stuff.
I don't care what rock you crawled out from. Bring it. You picked the wrong people to fight with.
So we got Sexay Estelle just in time for me not to be controlling her anymore. So yeah, now it really is Yuri in his default costumes, but he's got sexy costumes for his lady friends. As we really start to wonder what's going on with this guy. Alright, so just woke up. Don't know how great my commentary is going to be. Probably better than it was the last night right before bed, frankly. But no, we're gonna have another trip through this place. These are like wilted, whatever those guys are called, Fiorana, Filifolia.
That was a nice little break.
Which, you know, conceptually is kind of neat. It's like, oh, Filiphonia, we've been fighting like slightly different variations of that enemy throughout the entire game, but now, in the mysterious Labyrinth of Memories, which connects the world of the living to the world of the dead, we find wilted, kind of degraded ones. It's very intimidating, very scary stuff, folks. There is an exit. There's another exit over there. Which one do I want here? I want the northern one, so it would not be this one. This is something we saw before, this screen here, because we took the other exit out. But now we're going to go this way after grabbing the treasure chest. We have yet to get a treasure chest with fake gold in it, but it is something that happens. Just not to us. Ever. Maybe the game is punishing me for over-leveling. It's finding little ways. Nobody actually needs any HP or TP, so there's no point at all taking that chest. Not even for the open as many chests as you can thing. There's an exit up there. How do I get to it? Oh, you know what? No. Oh, I didn't even look at this path before. Well, never mind. I was thinking, oh man, maybe this caused me to miss treasure chests on my last run. No. Just didn't notice this other exit. So here we are in the Tarkaron kind of entry area, fighting
Watch my back.
a bunch of regular enemies that I don't think were here before. Maybe there were.
Not bad.
Okay, there's something going on with Rita's tactics. No, there isn't. She's still set at keep distance, which means she should be going for ranged spells rather than melee.
That was so easy.
So I don't know what's wrong with her, but she will probably be our character for the either Rita or Yuri. I haven't really decided. Will be our character for 200-man melee. Probably Yuri would be the one that involved the least work for me. It would be probably the longest, most tense video, but it would involve the least work sitting down with people's facts, figuring out how to prepare. Because I can just play as Yuri, fighting the way I normally do, and we'll see whether I'm sufficiently over-leveled that not having really tactically prepared will allow me to get through. Because I think in the 200-man melee, they really start pulling out more boss-like, like you're fighting boss-type enemies in one-on-one situations.
All right, we did it.
Wow, Stell, I might have to switch her away from that. I kind of forgotten just how overtly softcore pornorific that costume is for Stell.
I don't care what rock you crawled out from. Bring it.
It's actually worse than anything Judith has. Judith has been given the like over-the-top sexy body type, but there's no single costume in Judith's
That was too short.
repertoire that like is that close to revealing cartoon hoo-ha. Yeah, I know I can get up here because they... Again, you got all this stuff going on screen. You can't tell where the cutoffs of motion are. But they only gave us one treasure chest. It so easily could have given us another treasure chest in here. Okay, but which exit do I want? I want the northwest exit. Again, it's going to take more than one trip. We're kind of exploring the extreme opposite path of the one that we've been going on. Oh, see, there you go. You can get them from treasure chests. Well, we've already... Okay, so I'm already in a better mood now than I was last night. We've already got one fake gold out of this trip. It's tied now with the worst trip we've ever had. We can't do any worse than that. So I'm looking at different things we can do here. Again, there's a couple of screens. Caribocrom Exterior and Zaphius Sewer, I think we're never going to see because they're places that we could kind of have gotten to along this path that don't involve bosses. And I'm going to divert to a boss room. No, as long as it's not a boss room that cuts us off from getting to whatever. Again, this would make a lot more sense to you if you were looking at a diagram, and you're not. But the northwest exit will take us towards a boss. If we go northeast, we'll find some other stuff to do. I guess I could show off the parable. We probably will never see the Zaphius exterior sewer room. It's part of that brief dungeon we had that was set in the sewer of Zaphius very early in the game. Oh, I'm not gonna see it in the memories, Labyrinth of Memories version. So this is looking nice. There's kind of a treasure chest down there. It doesn't look like we got anything to worry about, but somewhere up here there's got to be an enemy, and here it is. This is Gattuso and the Cubs. Gattuso was the final boss of the Xbox Live. Way back in the day, there was a Tales of Vesperia. What do you want to call it? A demo where you just played through that little woods section early in the game, and this is the final boss of that. And it was considered by Draki and some other luminaries as being one of the tougher bosses in the game for its placement in the game. Like, obviously, stat-wise, this boss probably is not nearly as impressive as things that came later, but for where your party's at when you encounter it, this was one of the meanest, baddest enemies in the game. And I remember it being one of the first ones that had a secret mission. There weren't a whole lot of bosses, like bosses, before you fought this thing. But it was one of the first, my first, like, party clears, like, didn't actually beat it the first time it came up to it. So it's kind of fun to come back here and kick its butt. Yeah, you're not weak. We got it, okay? Estelle's like, look at my good stuff, folks. Smile. Yeah, a fake gold drop from that would have been nice too. But, you know, it's okay. We already got a fake gold from a treasure chest. Renewed hope in my mind now that that's worth even doing, looking at the frickin' treasure chests. So, there's two paths we can go from here, but they kind of both ultimately can lead you to the same places, so it doesn't matter too much which one we take. But I'll do the northwest one first because we are taking the overall eastern path, but there's kind of a western half of the eastern path and an eastern half of the eastern path, if that makes sense. So we're going to do the western half of the eastern path first, which takes us here to the Mount Temsa summit area.
I have been trained by knights. I won't lose.
You picked the wrong people to fight with.
You picked the wrong party to clash. This is probably a cutoff point where we can't go any further, but it's not. Because that would have made me sound like I knew what I was talking about.
We will not go easy on you.
And I'm hoping these videos are going ever so slightly faster by virtue of me playing as Yuri instead of Estelle, now that we've got her nurse costume. I should probably at some point remove the Sexay costume from Estelle and give her the nurse costume. That's Rita talking about her goofy costume. Kind of surprised, or it would make more sense for Estelle to have that line.
You
But
picked the wrong people to fight with.
I'm not the woman to mess with. Woo! Go, 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 go. Yeah, that was Rita's VA, wasn't it? Saying, I can't fight in this. You would think it would be Estelle who would say something like that. Now I'm kind of wondering, would there be a scene if we had Estelle dressed like this and Raven in the party? But, you know, I don't care that much. I guess we can have that combination going for a few minutes just to see. Okay, hold on just a second. Now I feel like I've explored this whole place and haven't found any treasure chests or exits. But that's not true because it actually started north of here. Probably exits will appear way down in that area I've cleared once we fought one more enemy up here, which will be frustrating, but it is what it is. There may be no reason whatsoever to have put him... We would put Raven in the party, but I'm vaguely wondering if there's some scene where he pervs out on Estelle. Kind of the way that if he's wearing a certain costume and wandering around in the... Oh, never mind.
You picked the wrong people to fight with.
You picked the wrong people to fight with. That would have been a nice place for fake gold. It was kind of at the end of a tunnel. It felt kind of, you know, dramatic and built up a bit. So, northwest, southwest, south. There's 3 different ways out of here. I guess we'll take the southern one. The southern one takes us to a screen with, you know what? Fuck that. We'll see that screen does not have a boss, and we'll see it no matter what on our next run through the path that we're taking next time. So darn it, screen, do not go black on me. Yeah, we'll actually go. No, not the northwest path. That'll screw us up. I will take the southwest path. I'm trying to showcase everything at least once, if it's doable. And if it's not doable, like if it's gonna necessitate an entire extra trip through to show this one screen which doesn't have a boss on it, I don't care. But otherwise, I'm trying to show off every screen. It involves careful planning. That would be. This is southeast, right? No, yeah. This fact, which was not written by Draki, so for once I have to mess with somebody else. Nakar Gabab. It says the exits are northwest, southwest, and south. So is that meant to be south? That is probably meant to be south, and there must be something over here that he considers southwest, but this... In fairness, it would be hard to use the cardinal directions to describe this place. Yeah, this is south. I actually meant to go southwest. Ah, well, whatever. This is the Manor of the Wicked, so we'll see this room again next time because I accidentally shouldn't have gone this way this time, but it's okay. We didn't miss any bosses.
We shouldn't let this go to our heads.
But I should change clothes. Soon.
Fight like I'm gonna die, huh?
Well, you are gonna die eventually. Yeah, this is actually taking a minute.
That was a nice little break.
Alright, Raven, you have 2 more battles to make some creepy comment on Estelle's state of dress, or I'm putting Rita back in the party.
Let's just get it over with.
Just like dancing. Having Estelle wander around with a sword in that outfit is kind of fun, though.
This looks like fun.
Wonderful.
You know, not only should I put Raven back out of the party, I should probably put Estelle in the damn nurse's costume.
That was a nice little break.
Because that really is a ridiculous outfit. At least Judith had, like, Judith, she has some kind of condition where if her midriff isn't showing, she dies, but, you know, it's... At least she has this kind of vague, like, adventurer, like, fantasy adventurer look, whereas Estelle's more like a, you know, fantasy by the hour look, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, Raven, you had your chance to perv out on Estelle. I owed that to you for all you've given us in this adventure. The way that you had a shocking, one who hasn't yet realized her natural charm and charismatic aura. How do you figure she hasn't realized it yet? She appears to be trading in on it, this costume. Anyway, yeah, everything that Raven did, like, you know, he went to the trouble of having this mysterious backstory, which nobody cared about once they heard it, where he was actually with the Empire all along. Whoa. Yeah, see, this is actually like the least revealing costume, other than her default, I suppose, that anybody has in this game. Healer. Wait a minute, I know we got the dedicated paramedic. There it is. So now we'll put her in a fetish nurse costume instead to make this less creepy. You know, now that I think about it, didn't she have... Of all of the characters with a waitress outfit, wasn't hers like the closest to a fetish French maid outfit? Oh, no, it wasn't. That was Judith. Hers is some kind of Eastern thing. Well, thanks for letting me go that far up the stairs. Alright, so there's only one exit from this room, so don't have to do a bunch of searching around. And there should be a boss of some sort here. And there is, and it's our old friend Schwan. I won't bother to switch to a party that includes Raven. I should, however, scan him. So, there's no secret missions for any of the bosses here. You can't... Similarly, you can't steal Gauch and Droid's unique swords in the 100-man melee, and you can't do the secret missions on these bosses here. The animations and moves and stuff that set up the secret missions are probably present, but nothing happens if you do them. Like I noticed... Yeah, whatever. I noticed that Breaker enemy does have its... thing where it spits out this core and juggles it around, and you can probably break it, but I don't know what it does. Spirit ring and Viva 2 Spiritu. And this, folks, is the Zaphius Noble Quarter. This is I don't even remember the character's name, but this is the residence of that mage who we thought had stolen, well, in fact had stolen the Aquablastia. And, you know, a part of me yearns for that section of the story, because that's the last time I thought the plot had a real strong overarching reason that anything was happening. Later on, there's like, the Autophago shows up, and no danger, and it's just like, no. At one point, we had like a concrete goal we were trying to establish, and I just wasn't willing to let it go. Anyway, we are going to go north, and we have to be careful at this point not to get drawn into the wrong path. But we're going to end up fighting Adakor and Bokos again eventually on this path, because we're kind of swinging into the center and then going back back on the eastern part of this path to see some boss fights over there. But in order to do that, we need to go on the north exit here. Jeez, none of these look like the north. Oh, there's the north exit. This exit is... Schwan, by the way, is the eastern path's equivalent to what Jaeger was on the western path, which is our opportunity to leave early. And when I start off screening, I haven't decided yet, but it may be more efficient for me to keep taking the initial exit rather than go all the way through. Might be a better use of time. I've seen where people said in GameFAQs that they made like short runs by doing that, but the problem is I've gotten just as many fake galds from defeating bosses, actually more fake galds from defeating bosses than from treasure chest drops. And the game, it gets really boss heavy in the end. Anyway, we're going to take the northern exit, and that will take us to the Tarkon Cathedral. Interesting screen, as you will recall, where we had to like knock balls into the hole. And we have a boss coming up in the next screen, so I should, not that I've been having any real trouble, but we should try to remember to cook something that will give us a boost against the bosses before we move on. Now, in order to do that, we would really have to know how many enemies we've got. How did that sneak up behind me? Come on. Oh, well, it means we get to see his Carol and Drag.
picked the wrong people to fight with.
I ain't the woman to mess with. Woo, go, 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 go. So yeah, let's try to scout the area and find out where all the enemies are. We've got 2, we've got 3. Looks like there's a total of 3 left. And that way we know in what battle... Ooh, are those Deathseeker Canonosos? I don't think those are new enemies. No, they're not. Yeah, the fell arm on Yuri is really making a difference in how difficult this is. The other thing I read on the game facts that was like a, you know, pro tip for this area was that your rewards as far as experience and gold go will decrease, but if all you care about is fake gold, there's no particular reason to do this area on normal difficulty. You can just set it to easy so that you can blow through the battles quickly. So when I off screen, I might do that. By that point, I will have gone through this entire thing on screen, so, you know, for what it's worth, satisfying my ego, I will have established clearly in the eyes of my subscribers that we can handle this place. Not a problem. Don't know if this should be a huge point of pride or if I should be embarrassed at how much I had to over-level to blast through the end game, but that's what's up. We've got this covered. We've got this Labyrinth of Memories lockdown on map. Labyrinth of Memories lockdown. Now at the end of this fight, I'm going to want to cook the food that gives you bonus attack, because that helps you blast through enemies faster. I should have enough of that recipe to actually use that for every boss fight we have left.
I guess I'll go easy on them.
But I feel like an easy win, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go easy on them instead. And just totally missed the Shining Fang.
That was too short.
Sukiyaki succeeded. That's good. We don't always manage to do that, actually. Even now that we've mastered the recipe, occasionally Yuri will screw it up. I don't know anything about cooking sukiyaki. May have been a featured macho meal by Lethal Feline, I'm not sure. You know, I'm not always on board with the extended Macho Man Randy Savage impressions, but I'm going to check out those Macho Meal videos. I am trying to cook for myself more, and yeah, honestly, of all the LPers who've done a video series which might actually be useful in the real world, that's the one I should actually really consider checking out. So in this big, huge screen, you know, there's probably a treasure chest that's like really hidden so you can't see it. Oh, you know, there was one down here in the real world rather than the Labyrinth of Memories. There was a really hard to find, visually obscured treasure chests down there near the center. That was the one that Draki in her fact said, "I've been told there is this hidden." Nope. It's just the game fucking us over by making us fight 4 different monsters who cannot drop fake gold before we get one treasure chest shot at possibly getting fake gold. I briefly wondered whether it was okay for me to have used the F word there, and then I realized, hey, how many times have I done that throughout this LP? Amid Hill, we have a boss to fight here. That's why I cooked food first. Just wander around till we find the boss, I suppose. Where you at, Balls? You are not over here, Balls. It must have been the other way, Balls. We have to find the boss, who will tell us to try to remember some of the basics of CQC. Oh, I remember you. You were the first real villain we had, other than Kimura, I guess. Not Kimura, I mean, Oh, I can't remember his name now. Oh, we got memories of all these different characters. Bandito memories. They're like Starlight memories. The memories of Love's Refrain. Only they're Bandito memories. The memories of Bandito's Refrain.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Ragu or Rago, that's the guy's name. I could not remember for a moment there, but
This is power.
this is power. Yeah. Whatever. Can't just lie around. I'm not lying around, damn it. Soldier, Bandito, Witch. I've gotten one of everybody. Let's go after the big boss. Oh, I didn't scan him, did I? Yeah, I started beating up Barbos without scanning him. What am I thinking about here? I really should be taking out his henchmen first, but... Don't get cocky, let's blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he's the first, like, major league boss where they kind of give a... It is a big deal that you defeated this guy for the story feel of the battle. Like, really built it up as dramatic. Like, I don't think that I ever believed that beating this guy was the end of the game, but they kind of hit their first, like, alright, so where's the story going now point after we took him out. That was kind of a cool way to take him out, like, the moment of convergence for the big, scary, magical attack. His sorry ass gets taken out. Now, my laptop really it really wants to go to sleep on me every couple of seconds here, it seems like. It's not charging. And this issue with the power supply, it'll... Never mind. It'll get power, but the battery won't charge. I'm sure you really want to hear a lot about this in detail. Anyway, I guess we'll go through the west exit here. I've already decided I'm going to take on Atacor and Bokos this trip, even though they're kind of central. There's a like a little mini path in the center that we kind of took before. Yeah.
I'm even
Stronger and stronger. I'm wearing a fetish costume, and yet I'm still not as creepy as before.
We got fake gold, folks! Yay! Such a big fucking deal to get fake gold now. It shouldn't be that big a deal. I've heard people saying that, man, it took me 7 trips to get enough fake gold. What a ripoff! And I'm like, that sounds wonderful, because I was getting like 1 fake gold per trip. I literally was. I got the 1 plot one early, and then I came out of 2 runs with 3 fake gold. So I was getting like 1 random drop fake gold per trip. Already doing a lot better than that now. Well, I got 2. Let's not get like completely full of ourselves here. But Pharaoh's feather. It's a feather colored like flame. It's no ordinary feather. This feather's gonna change your life, buddy. Vesperia number 1. That's that plot device that's gonna allow us to actually win the game. We're up to 5. We're actually a third of the way there. So if it continues dropping at an accelerated rate, I'm cool with that. Anyway, I kind of lost track of where we are on the screen. But I believe that is what they would consider the western exit, and the southeast exit is down this way. But we'll keep an eye out for treasure chests as we go. Because the game seems to be a little bit more generous today than it was the other night, and we ought to take advantage of that while we can. I'm going to try to maintain a good spirit and a positive attitude here. That show's good spirit. Because every single one of these that doesn't have a fake gold in it is a wasted opportunity, but you know, the game's just, it's all, you know, we're being better about the item drops. The game is being more generous. I can't freak out too much. We finally established that you actually can.
I guess I'll go easy on them.
Oh, this isn't actually the path I meant to take. Doesn't really make a big difference, though.
Just because we're women doesn't mean
I
we're
guess
weak.
I meant to go
Even
west
pretty things
there.
have thorns. Lots
Yeah, I
and
meant to go
lots of
west there.
thorns. Yeah.
Okay, all the speeches are just tiring at this point.
Piece of cake.
Let's just get it over with.
Piece of cake. This will be easy for me in my little girl's outfit.
This? No, this isn't
This?
scary.
This is something I had to wear as part of a plan to distract guards earlier in the game, and really shouldn't be wearing anymore. I mean,
I won't lose.
Yeah. I really, never thought I'd lose. I, probably should have known that it was possible for me to lose since I'm here in this hellish memory vortex because I've previously been defeated. Still, never thought I'd lose.
This looks easy. Don't let him trip you up.
Somebody kill that thing, damn it! Thank you, Estelle!
every rose has its thorn. Oh, yes, it does.
Okay, there's another enemy lurking around here somewhere. Great. It's you. I'll kill you.
Keep your eyes on my sword.
And the birdie. Keep your eyes on the birdie. Cobra Gang is here, folks.
Fatty Chariot!
All right, here we go. Yay!
We done? We good? Only one way to leave here. I didn't actually mean to come here. I was going to come here on my 4th trip through. But, you know, it doesn't make that much of a difference with these rooms that don't actually include bosses. It's just kind of like, we've seen all these areas before, so it's not that big of a deal. That's why I don't feel too terrible about the fact that there's probably going to be a handful of rooms, 4 or 5 maybe, that you never get to see. I'm not even going to bother to check if somebody could use the lemon gel. So here we are with Tweedle-A and Tweedle-B again.
I say, you're dead.
He says raw. I want to keep spamming this because he's over limiting, and that is expensive to me. Did that hurt? Is that what it did? I'll hurry up and die. You're taking way longer than the other guy did. It's my fault because I stopped spamming my deadliest art that I currently have equipped.
You picked the wrong people to fight
And I did
with.
it because I felt, oh, its maximum HP went up. I did it because I figured I was eventually going to run out of TP if I kept spamming it. And or more, I would use more TP than I would get back automatically in the end of battle, and that did in fact come to pass. And I totally forgot that I had a boss fight, and I should have used attack up. But you know what? I think it's okay. So I want to take the northeastern exit out of here after we're done killing all the regular enemies.
Enjoy these little times together. Just because we're women doesn't mean we're weak.
Every rose has its thorn. Oh, yes, it does.
Okay.
This'll
Just
make
keep
good
on
practice.
keeping on here.
Get careless.
Again, I accept these are probably not the most exciting videos in the LP, but this is the level of grinding that they require of us before they'll let us do the 200-man melee.
Ooh, that's kind.
Ooh, child, these go together.
I really should actually take a moment to reconfigure everyone's skills. Now that I've seen how it works, like Yuri just recently got one. You get an increase to your max TP or HP after battle periodically. I really should go and equip everybody with that. There's no real reason not to, except laziness and the fact that we're not having any trouble. We're really close to the end now, as far as like things to do. If there's anybody who could benefit from it, it is Yuri, because he's probably the guy I'm going to take through the whole 200-man melee. Maybe I'll take a moment to make sure Yuri he's got both, the HP and the TP one. So, if I was only going to have one character benefiting from those skills, Yuri would be the right one, and he's already got them equipped, so good enough. Would you just... Fine, it's like, if you have to sneak up on us before we're allowed to fight you, then we'll do that. Too many guys here, got you, Raymond. But we even dressed Carol up as a girl to please you, Raven. We figured that would please you. Somebody yelling about Cobra Gang over there? What's going on there? Yeah, the echo effect means that if you get on the other side of the arena from one of your allies, they're weird. They're like battle chatter starts sounding really odd. Doesn't get any less incessant.
That was so easy.
I guess that's why I like Shining Fang, and occasionally juggles an enemy onto the ground up into the air to get hit. When it's just getting beaten on by magical attacks. Heal bracelet does me no good now, game. So we want the northeast entrance. Anything except the northwest entrance is good. Actually, there's a northeast and a southwest. Either of those are okay. Northeast will basically take us to fight one additional enemy, because I don't really feel like fighting again, to tell you the truth. Because it's a boss that shows up on two paths. You'll probably know who it is if you think about it. Which boss gave me the most irritation. We'll be revisiting that boss. But it's an extra opportunity for a fake gold to drop, so I shouldn't miss it. That was probably northeast. That's probably the one I actually want. So I'll keep exploring in case I missed a treasure chest somewhere. Nope. It only has one treasure chest, so crap. Oh no, there's another treasure chest here. I've gotten a bit turned around about this screen now. Yeah, this feels like this must be the northeastern exit then. This takes us to a battle with the breaker enemy, then I'll know that I read their map right. And this is indeed where the breaker enemy is. We actually had a different screen before. There were two different, like, exterior like staircase screens in Tarkaron that were like kind of mirror images. And on the other path, we are forced to fight Breaker on the other staircase. So here we are fighting it again. I'm pretty sure it's the same enemy, but we've got plenty of magic lenses, so we might as well... Yeah, we don't need to scan it again. And I believe I was healing it there. Okay. I'm healing it, so I need to switch to something else. That is going to make this more difficult. You are... Yeah, don't do that. You're healing it. Doesn't seem to be absorbing totally, so that's okay. Just... And if it starts absorbing these, then I'll switch, because I think it can occasionally switch its weakness. Of course, I could find a non-elemental weapon to use on it. But yeah, I really should have remembered, like, for bosses that were not that, well, Barbos, I guess, is the only guy that I remembered that we had a, its weakness is still fire. There we go. Well, it's all bosses from now out, now on out, so that would have been a good place for me to remember to give myself some physical attack up. Mysterious bees. Stop talking rubbish. But, it's okay, folks, it's cool. We'll go back to, Abyssion. And, you know, we just got loads of these to use, so there's no point in being stingy. We will use our cooking to give ourselves a boost in our attack stat instead of health and TP back, and we'll use items to get health and TP back. And, ooh, we're fighting Chroma next. I don't remember what Chroma is. Even indeed whether or not we fought something called a Chroma. There are going to be enemies that pop up, particularly in the 200-man melee, who are bosses from previous Tales games. Your Chroma must be from this game. Because, you know, if it wasn't, it would probably be, like, positioned further along than this. The accessory that gives us immunity from all status ailments is called the Chroma Mark, for what that's worth. They're gonna make me search this whole frickin' screen, but there's gotta be treasure chests up here, yeah. May not have been worth the time it took to search them, but there had to be treasure chests. We've gotten, what, 2 fake gold on this run? I was so excited about how much better this run has gone than any previous run. We only got 2 fake gold. I think from what I was reading on GameFAQs, that's still been, if that's where it ends and we don't get any more fake gold, I'm hoping, of course, we get more fake gold, but yeah, that would actually be a pretty dry run. Wait a minute. Okay. It's just like, no, there's gotta be a hidden treasure chest. There has to be. So this is like a nice, pleasant-looking screen. It's even got those little like safety stairs. Like, oh, it's an outdoor area, but it's a public park. So we put these little, you know, they'll do that. And wow, you're a pretty badass-looking dude up there. I don't remember whether we fought you or not as an enemy, but. How do I get up to fight you? Over here? Yeah. It's a Chroma memory, so we must have fought this thing before. Maybe this was the thing that was tied into that plot line with the yeah, it's resistant to fire. So maybe I shouldn't be using this weapon. It doesn't literally absorb it, so I'm not gonna bother to switch, honestly. But yeah, this might be the thing that was connected to that, like, guild quest thing where we were trying to help the guild of weapons maker guys. The guild of crafters, I guess. That whole guild that never is mentioned briefly in, but has nothing to do with the main plot. It only really comes up if you do guild quest stuff. Stop using holy. It absorbs holy, okay? Not that enemies do, this one does. So stop using it. I love how it overlimits and immediately gets hit with a bunch of magic. I also love how it like starts to fly for just a second and then falls on its stomach,
The secret of my strength
but manages to whack us. Secret of strength is a secret. Oh, yeah.
That's the logical outcome. I'm even stronger now.
We're still continuing to level up at a good rate with no... We're not equipping stuff to increase experience. We're getting fake gold, though. That's what counts. Yeah, I've noticed that I'm always talking about something else and I'm interrupted by the message about fake gold, so... Not that I was keeping my mouth shut often at this point. Pretty much blathering on incessantly, but, maybe I, oh, yeah, I really ought to get these things going. Well, she's always in battle. Oh, no, wait, I've got enough without changing anything to get those going. So does she. Because they earned all these points when I wasn't, wow, she doesn't even have recover hit points after battle. No wonder she always seems short of hit points. I really wasn't doing much with these skills at all. Oh, not happiness. Life up is what I meant. Treasure chest over here, or is it just something where I'll get cut off and not allowed to go further? Yep. You could have made the magical invisible cutoff point appear before I got on the bridge, King. But you know what? I shouldn't be bitching about silly stuff like that right now. I just got a fake gold. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm giving it all to you. Creepy labyrinth of memories. So all the panacea bottles. I guess if you get hit with status ailments there and you don't have any of those, you're in a bad way. I guess I'll grant you that. So the exit must be at the end of this bridge? Yeah, exit's at the end of this bridge. There's only one way to go from here, so it makes sense that there's only the one exit. We are now, for those keeping track at home, on the eastern path's equivalent of the screen, which we always have to pass. You have to pass through this screen that we're about to come to, or the western half equivalent, which is Esteliz. So who does this game consider the combat equivalent of Esteliz? Well, we didn't fight a boss on this screen, so whoever they are, they're not at home, so to speak. Oh, Flynn, you poor son of a bitch. Flynn, I'm so sorry, but this game considers you roughly as tough as Esteliz. Flynn Memory. Well, it's a better name than Flynn Shifo. Does this mean that Flynn is dead and that this is the only way we can remember him? It's by fighting a sinister simulacrum of his, Yeah, of all the things that happened in the ending, I was surprised when Flynn suddenly died of an illness that he hadn't mentioned to any of us. That didn't happen. Being silly. Total word.
Arise, Serpentor, arise!
Well, Flynn, you actually got an attack off. Good for you. Oh, you got strong.
Just
Yeah, we
'cause
sure
we're
did,
women
man.
doesn't mean we're weak.
Yeah, seriously, what the hell are you doing implying that they're weak because they're women, Flynn? That's not right. Flynn is such a sexist pig. Oh my god. Do I want Estelle to go back to her lingerie outfit, or do we want to keep her in the fetish nurse outfit? Because the idea of putting her in a dignified outfit just isn't happening. Specific, I think, was the TP one, yeah. TP for our bungholes. Which actually is the one we could have used more than a treat at this point. This is, wait a second. Oh, there is more than one exit we're allowed to take out of here. Okay, for a minute it looked like it was differently colored. I was worried that, oh, this... Are you allowed to exit early at this point? Are you allowed to shortcut to the final boss at this point? I didn't think so. You have to get up to one of the two pre-final boss areas. The only one we've seen so far is Alexei. We will see the other one on this run. But, yeah, you have to get up to one of those rooms before you're allowed to fight the final boss. You're not allowed to just jump straight into the final boss when you have 15 Fake Gold. We want the western path this time. Next time we will get to here and take the southern path, and that will allow us to see a slightly different set of enemies at the very end. But by taking the western path, we have two boss fights before we get to the end game of the eastern path, excuse me, that is not the final boss. So basically 3 more battles to go, and then this video is done. Having been more successful Fake Gold-wise than any of our previous runs, and yet still, from what I'm hearing on GameFAQs, not a particularly good run Fake Gold-wise. We've had kind of rotten luck with this overall. So don't forget where that treasure chest is, folks, because we'll need to go back there after we fight whatever you're going to turn out to be. You are a smoke dragon. It's weird, I don't remember you at all. You got pretty impressive music. You're weak against holy power. So hopefully Estelle will make note of this and attack you. If you see like a dark spirit made of smoke, first you think, oh, lost, and then you think, the holy magic is probably the way to go against this guy. I keep missing my chance for lethal. Oh yeah, this is the son of a bitch that that made sure we didn't get the maybe I'm wrong, but I think this is the son of a bitch that prevented us from actually getting the 100% enemy book, because I didn't scan all these stupid different bat forms. Magic bat and attack bat. Well, we already got the leader bat. Because the other bat... Yeah, this was the boss battle A I had a lot of trouble with, and B, it screwed us over for the monster book, so I don't like these guys, that's what I'm saying. It's a memory of a boss fight that did not really go well. And frustratingly, no, coming into this dungeon at the end of the game, we still can't get 100% clear, because these guys are not the same enemy. They are the memory version. So in theory, we could have said, the only reason we came here was to scan these bats to try to make up for missing them before. It still, in the game's mind, isn't enough.
So easy.
And we failed to cook our super magic recipe. So the next boss, whoever that is, we will not be facing at tippy-top condition. But we did get Fake Gold, so never mind. I love the redux of the bat / smoke dragon fight. It's good stuff. Would do business again. Look spelled with at signs instead of the letter O. We got a treat. It's a special treat for you. Xiaoqiao really is the Riku of ancient Chinese generals. Because Xiaoqiao truly was an ancient Chinese general. Yeah. Do we, yeah, it couldn't hurt. It would max out Estelle. So yeah, it's mildly annoying that even when you master a dish, you still have a chance to fail. Because now we'll be facing the next boss, who's an old favorite. I'm sure you're going to love seeing this boss again. And we'll have to do it without having powered up magic. We were so excited about being done with this boss forever, but yep, here's Aggie. And I think it's the final Effed up version. Yeah, it's like glowing, powered up arm, melting face version of Zaggy. And he was going for his thing that gives you an opening for the secret mission there at the end, too. He jumped straight into the thing that I really wanted him to do when we were fighting him for reals in the story. I think each time I hit an Azure Edge, it's actually doing more damage than every, like, all of these meteors coming down and hitting them together are not doing as much damage as each Azure Edge. So it's probably okay that we didn't get our attack power up from that food, considering that I'm not even physically hitting him, and that was the attack that got powered up. I guess that's true. Yuri's attack power up, as saying like, oh, his magic power doesn't matter. We never hit him with magic. I think the Azure Edge damage might be dictated by his magic attacks. So we did succeed in cooking sukiyaki. We got a demon seal. We can do even better than this. Collect some treasures, and then head for the... Yeah, see, just regular gold is like, I don't care. Can I go back to the boat and fight, pardon me. Go back to the boat and fight Tweedle A and Tweedle B again? No? It's just possible. It's more likely the game will allow us to waste lots of time climbing this ladder. But it was just possible that there was treasure up here if we climbed up there. Actually, the game is being good. It won't let us climb the ladders to areas that don't have treasure in them this time, so they're being nice. And now it's Duke. It's our old friend Duke. This seems fair. Alexei's equivalent on the other side of the boss tree is Duke. So that kind of, you know, Alexei was treated, he was like a false final boss. He was treated like, hey, this is the final boss, hope you're ready for the ending. And then the actual final boss. I think that's Form 2, not Form 3, so the Form 3 version we only ever see when you do the whole Fell Arms bit. Yeah, that's definitely Form 3. I mean 2. Well, maybe not. It's hard to tell when the colors are all weird. But stat-wise, I think this thing's actually weaker than Form 3. The memory version of the bosses, I think, might be powered up in some case. Although, actually, you know, I'm already thinking that once I start doing, like, repeat runs through off-screen just to collect fake gold, I'm probably going to go the path that has Alexei at the end rather than having to keep fighting this guy. Although, you know, we're handling him pretty easily, but it did seem like he could fuck you over. I'm realizing I've got magic attack powered up. Or physical attack. I should be doing physical attacks. Take advantage. Like, no, I think actually Azure Edge is still the quickest way to do this. Because he never knocks me out of it. Or rarely would he knock me out of it and juggle me. I think I'm arguing with myself about minutia at this point. It seems like we've pretty much had that handled.
Stronger and stronger.
Going through here with the experience boost accessories would probably level you up pretty frickin' fast. Effecti ring. I'm just curious what that does. Well, whatever it is, seems like we probably already had one. No, wait, these things order themselves by category. We did already have one, though. Reduces all damage by 15%. Not a bad treasure, but doesn't matter. Nothing but fake gold is really, emerald ring, I guess. As long as I'm looking those things up, I'll see what that does, too. Oh, we didn't have one of those. Reduces TP consumption by 33%. Again, not a bad treasure at all. But, yeah, only fake gold really means anything to us at this point for those treasure chests. And we don't have enough. We need 15. We have 7. So, actually, that run was a lot better than our previous runs. We were about halfway there. Now that we got the nurse costume and stuff, we really have nothing to do between runs other than grab cooking ingredients and any healing items that we didn't come out at 15 quantity of. And I think we actually came out at 15 quantity of everything except orange and apple gels. No, lemon. Yeah, it's orange and lemon. Apple and lemon. Orange is the slightly upgraded hit point gel. Never mind, I lose track of which one's which. I know apples are kind of the, like, they're the cheap hit point ones, and beyond that, I'm like, which one's the cheap TP and which one's the upgraded hit points, and blah, 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 blah. Magic lenses, just because you never know when we'll get some reward for getting 95% of enemies scanned. We will not, as I've already said, and I feel bad about it, but not to the point where we're going to replay the whole fucking game. But we're not actually going to see the 100% of all enemies scanned reward scene. You probably get a title or something, and you get a little scene with Nan. Yeah, we're not seeing any of that, so if that's a problem for you, I'm sorry, but we're not seeing any of that. Wasn't there an inn here if we talked to the right person? I guess not. Don't feel like going to an inn. So wasteful. There you go, folks. We're gonna have one more dungeon crawling video. If we're really lucky, we'll end that. We'll get 7 fake gold to drop in one trip, and actually, at the end of the next video, be able to face the boss of the Labyrinth of Memories. But more likely, we will fight through the Labyrinth of Memories on camera one more time here. And at the end of that, we will have some number of gold, hopefully between 7 and 15. Greater than 7, that's the main thing, I guess. And then I'll off-screen until we have 15, and then I'll fight my way to probably Alexei and start recording when we're standing at the gate that requires you to have 15 gold, and you'll get to see that fight. And that might be its own short video before we go to the 200-man melee. Or I might just have a video where I do that and then go straight to 200-man melee. This is all minutia that you don't need to worry about. What you need to worry about is making sure that you're here next time for an exciting battle through the Labyrinth of Memories. Last video dealing with the Labyrinth of Memories, except for the actual final boss, which you'll get to see. So we are really, really close now to the end of this LP. Already won the game. Almost out of things to do in this LP. Don't know how much more of this game I've got, because I don't know how much off-screen it's going to take to get the fake gold required. But you're like 2, 3 at the outside videos away from having to bid farewell to MysteriousJG's Let's Play Tales of Vesperia. You can always go watch it again, folks. But regardless, I'm MysteriousJG, and thanking you for watching, and looking forward to seeing you next time.